Lewis Hamilton has just sent a powerful message to the entire Formula One grid. He's not here for entertainment. He's here to conquer. Now dressed in Ferrari red, the seven-time world champion isn't dwelling on the pressure of a new team, the weight of expectations, or the media storm surrounding his move. Instead, Hamilton is laser-focused. If you think he's feeling the heat before his Ferrari debut, think again. "I don't feel the pressure," he stated. "The outside pressure doesn't exist for me. The real pressure comes from within and my own ambitions." That's not the voice of uncertainty. It's the voice of a man who knows exactly what he's capable of. Hamilton isn't in Ferrari to prove himself. He's already done that. He's not hesitating, and he's certainly not holding back. If his rivals were expecting him to take time settling in, they might be in for a rude awakening, because Hamilton has made it crystal clear he's here to win. But it's not just Hamilton who's hungry for an F1 championship. Ferrari's title drought has stretched on for far too long. It's been 18 years since Kimi Räikkönen secured their last Drivers' Championship in 2007. Since then, they've spent nearly 2 decades chasing a title that keeps slipping through their fingers. Now, they have Hamilton, a driver who doesn't just win races, he builds dynasties, and he's eager to restore Ferrari's former glory. Hamilton isn't just aware of Ferrari's struggles, he's using them as motivation. "I know what it takes to get the job done. I just want to contribute and help make it happen," he said. He sees the passion within the team, the relentless drive of Ferrari's engineers, and the unwavering support of the Tifosi, who have been waiting for this moment for nearly 2 decades. And here's the key. Hamilton isn't just racing for himself. He's racing to revive Ferrari's legacy. This isn't just about winning an 8th title. It's about restoring the most iconic team in F1 history to the top. If that doesn't intimidate his competitors, it should. Switching teams in Formula One is never easy, but moving from Mercedes to Ferrari is a whole new level of challenge. New engine, new controls, new team dynamics, new processes. It's an entirely different world for Hamilton. For the first time in his career, he's driving a car powered by something other than a Mercedes engine. After 18 years with Mercedes power, Hamilton is now adapting to Ferrari's V6 turbo hybrid unit. "Ferrari power feels completely different after spending my whole career with Mercedes," he admitted. "It's a different feel, a different vibration. This isn't just a small adjustment, it's an entirely new driving experience. Everything from power delivery to energy recovery systems to braking response is unfamiliar." But here's the thing, Hamilton isn't making excuses. He acknowledges the challenge, but he's not shying away from it. "There's a transition period and a foundation to be built," he explained. He understands that trust within the team needs to be developed, communication with his race engineer Riccardo Adami must be refined, and Ferrari's unique race strategies need to be mastered. But if there's one thing Hamilton has proven over and over, it's that he thrives under pressure. Remember, this isn't the first time Hamilton has had to adapt. When he left McLaren for Mercedes in 2013, critics doubted him. They called it a mistake, saying he wouldn't win. And yet, he transformed Mercedes into an unstoppable force. Now he faces another major shift. Only this time, the stakes are even higher. The learning curve might be steep, but Hamilton isn't here to adapt. He's here to dominate. And if history tells us anything, it's that he figures things out fast. You can always tell when Hamilton is locked in. There's an energy, a presence, a confidence in the way he carries himself. And right now, that's exactly what we're seeing. He isn't playing it safe, and he certainly isn't here to prove anything to anyone. "I've done it time and time again," he declared. That's not the language of a driver doubting himself. It's a warning shot to the entire grid. Think back to some of his most dominant seasons. 2014, 2015, 2017, 2020. Every time he entered a season feeling in control, the rest of the grid was left scrambling. He doesn't need validation from the media, the fans, or even Ferrari itself. He's already built one dynasty with Mercedes. Now, he's in Maranello with a single goal, to do it again. And that should terrify the competition. Looking at the grid right now, Red Bull, Verstappen is still the favorite, but the team is facing pressure after a chaotic offseason. McLaren, they clinched the 2024 Constructors' Championship, but Ferrari was right behind them. Mercedes, well, let's just say Hamilton left for a reason. Ferrari, they have the tools, They just needed the right driver to put everything together. Enter Hamilton. And the key difference between him and most of the grid? He knows what it takes to win. He's battled for titles before. He's handled pressure. He's won under pressure. And if he's already saying that outside pressure doesn't faze him, it means he's exactly where he needs to be. Hamilton isn't here to hope Ferrari can win. He's here to make sure they do. He's been through tough seasons before. He knows how to take a struggling team and transform them into championship contenders. And he's already making it clear, this isn't about proving anything to anyone. It's about doing what he does best, winning. This season will be Hamilton's biggest challenge in years. Unlike at Mercedes, where his feedback sometimes went unheard, he's now at Ferrari, a team that's thrilled to have a 7-time world champion in their ranks. Preseason testing is one thing, but Melbourne is where the real battle begins. This will be the first time we see Hamilton in full race mode with Ferrari. And the biggest question? How fast can he adapt? We've seen drivers struggle when switching teams. New controls, new mechanics, different workflows. It's never an instant process. Even the best need time. But Hamilton isn't just any driver. He's one of the most adaptable racers in F1 history. He's made career-defining adjustments before, whether it was mastering the turbo-hybrid era in 2014 or overcoming Mercedes' unpredictable performance in 2022 and 2023. Now, he faces a new challenge, adapting to Ferrari's SF-25 faster than anyone expects. And let's be honest, this race will tell us a lot. The real question is, can Hamilton fight at the front right away? Ferrari ended 2024 on a high note. They may have missed out on the Constructors' title, but they were the second fastest team on the grid, trailing only McLaren. That's a massive leap from where they were just a few years ago. The SF-25 is built to continue that momentum, so if Ferrari has done its job, Hamilton should have the car to compete immediately. But this is where his experience becomes the X factor. While others are still settling into the season, Hamilton knows exactly how to approach an opener like Melbourne. He's won this race twice before. He knows how to manage race pace. And most importantly, he knows how to keep himself in the fight, even when things aren't perfect. What if everything we've said about adaptation time and a transition period turns out to be irrelevant? What if Hamilton just shows up in Melbourne and wins? If he pulls it off, it tells us 3 things. 1. He's already comfortable in the Ferrari. No transition period, just immediate dominance. 2. The SF-25 is a legitimate title contender. If Hamilton wins, it proves Ferrari built a championship-level car. 3. The competition is in trouble. Red Bull, McLaren, and Mercedes would have to accept Ferrari is here to dominate. Hamilton isn't just at Ferrari for the spectacle. He's here to make history. And if Melbourne proves that the transition period was just a myth, his 8th title chase could begin much sooner than anyone expected.